Welcome to RedsFX, the place for newbies, indies, as well as low budgeters. How are you guys doing? Once again, these are one of these title template episodes where I come up with an idea really fast, I build it out, and I'm too excited to do anything except get it out there really quickly. And for this episode, as you can see, we're tackling the Ready Player One title, which is a film a lot of people are anticipating. For me, I want to go see it. I'm not really... it's not my most anticipated film, although I do think that it looks pretty cool with all these different Easter eggs. And it's Steven Spielberg, guys, so come on, Steven Spielberg. There's always a chance with Steven Spielberg. The guy's a master. So obviously I'm going to go see it, and the title looks really cool. So I got to work in creating it in Hitfilm Pro. Now the reason I use Hitfilm Pro instead of Hitfilm Express is because these letters and these words here, Ready Player One, the text is 3D, and we did use the Boris 3D extruded text effect to do that. Now in Hitfilm Express there isn't really a good way to do 3D text like this that has the same sort of attributes, so unfortunately we have to do it in Hitfilm Pro, and it can't be opened in Hitfilm Express, unfortunately. But for those of you who do use Pro, this is a pretty cool template. There's a ton of stuff going on. As you can see, there's flares everywhere, there's glows and these light leaks and lens dirt, there's stuff going on everywhere. So this isn't a 100% accurate title template, although none of them really are, because of the sheer amount of chaos going on when it comes to flares. I swear they let J.J. Abrams create this or something.
J.J. Abrams!
But I did my best to try and recreate it, I guess, in Hitfilm Pro as best as I could, and I think it came out pretty accurate looking. So let's discuss what is actually inside this template. So if you head to the description right now, you can download the template. There is a PDF there that just discusses the usage and credits, so just read that before opening it. But otherwise, when you open it, you should see this. So you have a render comp over here, which is where you render it, obviously, which we'll do later on, and then you also have a work comp, which is obviously where we do the work. So let's open the work comp, and as you can see here, it's pretty simple. All we have is a few multiple layers of flares actually. So we've got a flare here, and we've got a flare here. Well, this purple one turns on later. You have a green flare, side flares. These ones aren't doing anything right now because they're not activated yet, but yeah, so you have a whole bunch of flares. Basically you can leave everything alone here. And the only thing you really need to do is change the text, which is also really easy to do. There are only two things I want to mention, or two assets that I used that are actually from Production Crate. If you look over here, we used a light leak, which comes on earlier, which is over here. This light leak asset, which came in handy, really, see, it looks like nothing without it. So this light leak is very cool to use, as well as these bokeh assets. As you can see, they do quite a bit for the final effect, and it gets some nice little accurate lens reflections going on, which you can actually see in the original template or the original intro in the trailer. So these are the two assets. I will have their names in the description. You can download them from Production Crate. I also have the link to Production Crate in the description. I'm not sure if these are free or not. I think this one is free, although I'm not sure if this is pro or not. But yeah, you can download that in the description. If you this isn't sponsored by them at all, but so you can download these if you want. They do add a lot, but if you don't want them, the title isn't going to look any it's not going to be destroyed without them. So yeah, those assets can be left out if you do want to. But let's move on to changing these little words over here. So as you can see, we have three different planes down here, one for each word. So if I can just hit Control A and turn everything off except our first word. So this word actually has a few effects on it. It's got the extruded text, a couple of glows, and the curves. So if you turn them off, you can basically see what it's doing. The text is pretty plain. As you can see, it does have some 3D attributes towards it. Then the glows just punch that up. And these glows are also animated to have the text fade in, especially with the player and the one text. And the curves effect just has a little bit of a tiny little color adjustment, as you can see. So to change it, let's turn off all of these effects right now so we can move a bit faster. Then we'll just open up the text settings and click on Launch UI window. And in here, all you have to do really is just select the text and type whatever you want. So let's type out diaper. So as you can see, it's sort of messed up the kerning. So what you can do is just select the letter and then just adjust the kerning of it. So let's select the space. Then we can just pull everything forward. And just try and get everything equally spaced. And yeah, this is looking good to me. So all we got to do is just hit apply, and boom, it changes. So all we got to do then is just turn on the glows and the curves, and we're done with the first word. So let's turn that one off, and then we'll hit the player. Now, if you do want to, before I go on, if you do want to have one of these words not be here, so if you don't want to use some of them, you can just leave them off and just use whichever one you want. So you can use the first two or the last two, whatever you like, really. So let's change this one. Turn off the effects. Open up, launch UI window, select the text, and for here, let's type in explosion. Again, this is sort of messed up the kerning, so we can just adjust that. All I'm doing is literally just selecting the letter that I want to change and then just adjusting the kerning. And boom, we have explosion done. So now we have this explosion. So we can turn all the effects back on, turn that one off. And for the last one, in this case, I'm not going to be using the last one, which is the 1. So all I'll do is just leave it off. We'll hit Control A, turn everything on, and then just change the obviously turn the 1 off. And now we have a diaper explosion, which is pretty awesome. I mean, what's better than a diaper explosion? So all you got to do now, if you want, you could see the green flare is a bit out of place, so just select the green flare layer, come into light flares, and you can just maybe move it to over here, something like that. All these flares don't really need to be in a specific place, since it's a very random positioning of these flares, but you can obviously select the flare, come into the settings, and just, you know, move it to wherever you want. And if we head back to the final render comp, we'll see everything is in place. In the final render comp, you might just see a letterbox over here, which you can turn on and off if you don't want it. Some grain that adds some nice realism, as well as a final grade which just punches everything together. And yeah, guys, that's basically it. A really cool template to it's very easy to change. It really looks cool, in my opinion, at least. Well, I'm the one who created it. If you want to render it out, what I'd suggest is selecting this option over here, and that adds it to the render queue, and then you can just render it out. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys make good use of this template. If you do use it in your projects, just send me a link via email or Twitter or something. I'd be happy to check it out. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all that jazz. Remember, guys, check out some of the other episodes on the end screen. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you, as always, in the next one. Stay alerted.